All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sports Dom coming back with another video, and this is my Prairie View A&M Panthers at Michigan State Spartans post-game recap. I said I expected a blowout. I said many experts expected a blowout. 40 to nothing type of blowout. 40 to nothing, the Michigan State Spartans defeat the Prairie View A&M Panthers. So the Prairie View A&M Panthers fall to 1-2 on the season. The Michigan State Spartans improve to 3-0. So both of my favorite football teams, the Michigan State Spartans and Buffalo Bills, so far are undefeated. Total between the two is 5-0. The Michigan State Spartans 3-0. And the Buffalo Bills 2-0. The Michigan State Spartans will have a tough gauntlet ahead of them as they go to Boston College next Saturday. So let's check out the stats. First, for the visiting Prairie View A&M Panthers. Rushing, Connor Wisham had three carries for 9 yards. Chris Herron, 1 carry, -6 yards. Jalen Smith, 4 carries, -3 yards. Scooter Adams had 5 carries for 24 yards. His long was 17. Cameron Peters had 3 carries for -22 yards. Lamega McDowell had 8 carries for 14 yards. Jamarius Burke, 3 carries, 1 yard. So the Prairie View A&M Panthers had 27 carries for 17 yards and no tutties. Passing for the Prairie View A&M Panthers, Cameron Peters went 9 of 17 for 123 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. And receiving for the Prairie View A&M Panthers, Trajan Spiller had 7 receptions for 91 yards. Shamar Savage, 1 reception, 26 yards. Chris Herron, 1 reception, 6 yards. So total, the Prairie View A&M Panthers had 9 receptions for 123 yards, no touchdowns. Punting, Efren Jasso had 6 punts for 269 yards, averaged 44.8, and his long was 50. No punt returns for Michigan State, or for Prairie View. Kick returns. Navon Cooper had 1 return for 14 yards. And now on the defense, Stacy Brown had one tackle. Freddie Bird had 5 tackles, 2 solo. Keon Jones, 2 tackles, 1 solo. Traylon James, 2 tackles, 1 solo. Ahmad Robinson, 3 tackles, 1 solo. Jeremiah Harris, 5 tackles, 2 solo, and a half a tackle for loss. Kwame Sarkodie Jr. had 2 tackles, 1 solo. Stephen Shaw Jr., 2 tackles. Dante Hunter II, 1 tackle. Cameron Franklin, 1 tackle, 1 solo. Bryce Turner, 4 tackles, 4 solos, and 1 sack. Eric Zachary, 3 tackles, 2 solo. Terrell Coleman Jr., 6 tackles, 2 solo. Kevin Davis, 5 tackles, 2 solo. Kiman Amau, 2 tackles, 2 solo. Cody Mayberry, 1 tackle and a half a sack. Darren Vasquez, 2 tackles, 1 solo. Robert Edmondson, 2 tackles, half a tackle for loss, not sack. Half a tackle for loss. Mayberry also had a half a tackle for loss. As Prairie View only had, they didn't have any sacks in this game, but they did have 1 interception, so we will get to that. Javen Jackson, 4 tackles, 2 solo. Aiden Jones, 6 tackles, 5 solo. Davier Farrow, 2 tackles and a half tackle for loss. Adrian Lacey, 3 tackles. Fred Stokes Jr., 1 tackle, 1 solo. Jamal Marshall, 2 tackles, 1 solo. Tiago Sumbo, 1 tackle, 1 solo, and 1 tackle for loss. and he had an interception, I do believe. Somebody had an interception. All right, so the Prairie View A&M Panthers had 69 tackles, 33 solo, 2 tackles for loss and an interception. So now let's look at the undefeated Michigan State Spartans rushing. Nate Carter had 8 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown. Ron Lynch Adam, 15 carries, 63 yards. Brandon Tulis, 3 carries, 13 yards. Aiden Childs had 3 carries, 8 yards, and a touchdown. Nick Marsh, 1 carry, 8 yards. Makai Frazier, 1 carry, 5 yards. Joseph Martinez, 1 carry, 1 yard. Tommy Schuster, 1 carry, 1 yard, and a touchdown. So the Michigan State Spartans rushing, they had 34 carries, 188 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So Aiden Childs had 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, a total of 2 touchdowns on the day. And I said he would have a baseball cap in the 4th quarter. He had one in the 3rd quarter because the game was over. It was 33-0 at that point. Passing, Aiden Childs went 12 of 19, 173 yards, and a touchdown. So he only threw the ball 19 times and completed 12 of those. Tommy Schuster went 8 of 10 for 97 yards and a rushing touchdown. No touchdowns passing. So the total for the Michigan State Spartans, they were 20 of 29 for 270 yards and 1 touchdown. Receiving, Isaiah Johnson, he had 2 carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Jack Velling, 2 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Jack Velling, 2 receptions, 42 yards. Antonio Gates Jr., 3 receptions, 42 yards. Montori Foster Jr., 4 receptions, 37 yards. Nick Marsh, 2 receptions, 27 yards. Ron Lynch Adams, 2 receptions, 27 yards. Zach Gillespie, 2 receptions, 16 yards. Brendan Parachek, 1 reception, 12 yards. Jay Coyne, 1 reception, 12 yards. Michael Masunis, 1 reception, 5 yards. So, receiving, the Michigan State Spartans had 20 receptions for 270 yards and 1 touchdown. Punting, Ryan Eckley had 1 punt for 55 yards. Punt returns, Montori Foster Jr. had 2 returns for 32 yards. On the defensive side of the ball, Charles Brantley had 2 tackles, 2 solo, and an interception, which was a pick 6. He returned 100 yards for the score. Charles Brantley. Chris Bogle had 4 tackles, 1 solo, and a tackle for loss. Ed Woods, 5 tackles, 3 assists. Jordan Turner had 7 tackles, 4 solo, 1 sack, and 1.5 tackles for loss. Anthony Jones, 1 tackle, 1 solo. Jalen Thompson, 1 tackle and half a tackle for loss. Wayne Matthews, 2 tackles, 1 solo. Ken Talley, 1 tackle, 1 solo, 1 sack, and 1 tackle for loss. Angelo Gross, 2 tackles, 2 solo. Armorian Smith, 1 tackle. Darius Snow, 1 tackle. Cale Halliday, 4 tackles, 3 solo, 1 sack, 1.5 tackles for loss. Makai Frazier, 1 tackle, 1 assist. Malik Spencer, 3 tackles, 1 solo. Marcelius Pulliam, 2 tackles, 2 solo. Brady Pretzlaff, 1 tackle, 1 solo, 1 tackle for loss. Mike Schunbeeler, 1 tackle. Ben Roberts, 1 tackle, 1 solo. Ruquan Buckley, 1 tackle and a half tackle for loss. Dequan Deuce, 2 tackles and a half tackle for loss. Maverick Hansen, 2 tackles. Quindarius Dunnigan, 1 tackle, 1 solo, and 1 tackle for loss. So, the Michigan State Spartans had 48 tackles, 26 solos, 3 sacks, and 7 tackles for loss, and 1 interception. So 40-0, the Michigan State Spartans all over the Prairie View A&M Panthers. And the Boston College Eagles lost today, so they're going to be pissed off. But the Michigan State Spartans are rolling. They already have a Big Ten win on the road. They won last week in Maryland, 27-24, which nobody expected. And they go into Boston College at 3-0. The Boston College Eagles host the Michigan State Spartans, and the Boston College Eagles are 2-1. So, and then we go to Ohio State. That's gonna. I'm sorry, we don't go to. We host Ohio State. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a fucking tough game. But let's enjoy this one. 40-0, Michigan State Spartans over the Prairie View A&M Panthers. My game ball. There's a couple of them today. Aiden Childs for the 2 touchdowns. He got 1 passing, 1 rushing. Charles Brantley for that 100-yard interception return for the touchdown. And then Nate Carter for his touchdown. So 3 game balls today. Aiden Childs, Charles Brantley, and Nate Carter. And Aiden Childs, 2 total touchdowns, 1 through the air, 1 rushing. The first touchdown of the game was Aiden Childs ran it in for the touchdown, and then he threw a beautiful pass to a wide open Isaiah Johnson for the tutty. So, and then Tommy Schuster came in relief of Aiden Childs and rushed in a touchdown, which made it 40-0 at that point, and that is your final score. So, like I said, the Prairie View A&M Panthers fall to 1-2, and the Michigan State Spartans improved to 3-0 on this season, with wins over the Florida Atlantic Owls 16-10, the Maryland Terrapins 27-24, and the Prairie View A&M Panthers 40-0. We expected a blowout in this one, and we got a blowout. They win by 40 points, and I knew this wasn't going to be a close game. I knew that Prairie View had no shot to win this football game. Although I didn't know much about the Prairie View A&M Panthers, they don't look like a very good team at all. They couldn't do much against the Michigan State Spartans, and they ended up getting blown the fuck out by the Michigan State Spartans. And once again, I want to say happy birthday to our QB, Aiden Childs. He turned 19 years old this week. So happy birthday to him. And he is undefeated in the Big Ten and in college football. I don't know how we're not a ranked team. We are undefeated, and we beat a Big Ten powerhouse in Maryland. So I don't know how we're not a ranked team. But keep sleeping on the Michigan State Spartans. I know the gauntlet is going to be very tough. But if we could beat Boston College in Boston College, we can come home against Ohio State Buckeyes at 4-0, and then we'll probably get wiped off the face of the planet by Ohio State. But one game at a time. I know Boston College is going to be very, very tough, but Maryland was also tough, and we beat them on the road in our first Big Ten victory of the season. But Boston College did lose today. They're probably going to be pissed off. They're going to want to take it out on the Spartans. But our defense is very, very good, and I think our defense will keep us in it. and it's just going to be a matter of execution if we defeat Boston College or not. They gotta clean up these penalties. 11 penalties today. That's not good, especially against the Prairie View A&M team that was also in penalty trouble. But not good. Got to clean that up. Head coach Jonathan Smith even said, got to clean it up. But off to Boston College, and let's go Spartans. Got to dig down deep, and I think we're going to give the Boston College Eagles a game. People aren't going to expect us to be in it, but I think it's going to be a close game, and I think we can pull this one off. We got to kill the penalties, though. Gotta stop with these stupid penalties. Jonathan Smith will have them ready to go, though, in Boston College. So, guys, comment in the comment section below on what you think. And as always, if you like my videos, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a video. Guys, this is Sports Dom. Peace. Go Spartans. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment, like, subscribe. Off to Boston College next Saturday. Should be a good one. It's going to be a tough one. But, you know, I think we can pull it off. I mean, we showed Maryland that we could pull it off. And they're a Big Ten powerhouse. And they kicked our ass last year. So, but comment, like, subscribe. One game at a time. Let's come home to play Ohio State 4-0 because Ohio State is going to be a massive challenge for the Michigan State Spartans. Ohio State is a dominant college powerhouse, so we need to get that win in Boston College and go to 4-0 before coming home to play the Ohio State Buckeyes. Off to Boston College. Go Spartans.